Hey guys, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be going through my PC build. I have been waiting a long time for these parts and we are literally just going to jump straight into this. If you've never built a PC before, this will almost be a little bit like a tutorial. I'm going to go through all of the bits that I've ordered, why I may have ordered one bit over another bit, and also just show you the process that I go through when I build computers. I've built quite a few computers in my past. I actually had a summer job building laptops and computers and stuff like that when I was a bit younger. It's actually something that I've been doing since I was about 13 or so it's about 10 years on and off every now and again building computers. So first off, let's go through all the parts. Let's start with the processor. Obviously this is the brain of the computer. I have gone for a Intel i3-9100F. The reason why I went for this is purely because the price point on this was absolutely amazing. This processor was very, very cheap, and the performance out of some of these i3s from Intel are just absolutely unreal. So I decided to give that a go. For my RAM, I have gone for 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance RAM. And this is purely because it was reasonably cheap. Corsair is a brand I can trust. And it is RAM that I've used before. Never had any problems with it. I should probably start out with the case. Let's go with the case first. So this is the case. It is a Corsair Spec Delta case. And the reason why I bought this is because it's actually quite small. And it has 3 fans built into the front for air cooling. There is a magnetic dust strip on the top as well, so that means that it's very easy to clean. There is also, if I pick it up, a very nice side window, so we should be able to see into the side of the computer at all times. Not that you're really going to be looking inside the computer all the time, but it's a nice feature to have. There are lots of cable tidying elements in this case as well. There's like a very smart place for the PSU to go as well. PSU means power supply unit for those of you who don't know. And also the fans on the front are actually all LED fans as well, so we should have some fun lighting all of those up too. It also has a very, very clever storage compartment for the SSDs as well, which I will get onto in a second. My power supply is also from Corsair, just like the RAM. This is a 650 watt power supply. I calculated my power supply using this tool. And I can't remember the name of it, hence editing. But essentially I added in all of the parts that I had here into this tool, and it estimated that I would be using, I believe, around about 500 to 600 watts if I was overclocking my stuff. And so I was safe, and I went with the 650 just in case, for example, the LEDs took up loads of power, or I decided to add in another graphics card, although adding in another graphics card may push that over the edge. But we will have to wait and see. Speaking of graphics cards, this is the graphics card that I've gone for. It is the AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT. The reason I went for this is purely because, again, the price point. It seemed very, very good in terms of price point for the power that you actually get out of it too. I think the last graphics card that I actually had two. I had 2 Radeon R9 270Xs. And so the good thing is as well about this is that A, it's more powerful, and B, I can actually plonk 2 of these together to give me even more power, which is awesome. So there's already a pre-made upgrade there if I really, really want one. Next up, for storage, I have 2 480 gigabyte SSDs ready to go. They are from Crucial, and these will be one specifically for video games, and then the other one will be for photography and editing, and also for my operating system as well. So hopefully this will be enough. If I need more, however, then I will obviously buy another. These were reasonably cheap for the price point. However, I'd argue that SSDs are all around about the same price for the same amount of storage. So it's really just whatever's cheapest at the time, and this just happened to be it. And of course, I got two of the same because they have to be matching, right? And then last but not least, the motherboard that I've gone for is the Z390 Gaming X keyboard. I went with this purely because the recommendation was that if I combined it with the Intel i3, I could actually get more out of it. That's pretty much it. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit out of date when it comes to components and stuff like that, so a recommendation like this is absolutely great. I've no idea how true it is, but I know that the parts are compatible, I know that the motherboard is decent, and I know the processor is decent, so whatever. And those are all of the parts, unless I'm now missing something, and I'm gonna get halfway through the PC build and I'm like, well, hold on a minute, I don't have a blank. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and get building. Oh, one more thing, I also bought some more thermal paste, just in case I needed it. I did also buy a heatsink for the processor because I couldn't remember whether or not the processor would come with one. It does, so that will now be returned. Yeah, perfect. So it is time we unpackaged everything and got to work, so let's go. I hope you find this as satisfying as I do. Oh. Okay, so the first thing I have done, I have screwed in the PSU, and the cables are hanging out here. I didn't realise I had to take this side of the case off. I thought that just being able to go through this side of the case would be fine, but I guess that this case is smarter than I am. Next step is to plonk the motherboard in.
A few moments later.
Alright, so the motherboard is in, and as you can see I've lifted up where the CPU goes, and so essentially before plugging in all of these cables and all of the power cables, which are just over here, I want to make sure that all of the correct components are in here before I start plugging everything in. So for example, I want to make sure that the RAM is in correctly here, the graphics card is in correctly here, the CPU is in correctly, and then I will start on all the cabling. Alright, so CPU is in. Now it is time for the heatsink, which looks like this. It's the big fan that goes over the CPU. Now it is time for the RAM. The CPU sink, the heatsink is in. Unfortunately, the cabling just wasn't quite long enough, so the cables at the moment are just going to hang there and sort of do nothing. Hopefully when I get the chance a little bit later on, I will be able to essentially attach this with a cable tie to something else and make that look a bit tidier. So yeah, RAM in, let's go. There we have it, the RAM is in. When you push it in, you should hopefully hear these little things give a little bit of a satisfying click. But obviously if you're pressing it quite hard and it's still not clicking in, just give them a little nudge, and hopefully they will go in really easily. The graphics card is finally in. I had a little bit of trouble, I took out the wrong back slots here, but this thing literally takes up the majority of the case. Which is absolutely fine. The thing should hopefully be a bit of a beast. Next up, we have to install the SSDs. They are going on the back, so I'm going to pick it up, flip it, and get those in. Boom. SSDs in. Now, I'm pretty sure it's time to get all this cabling done. Yay! Right, so all of the cabling I think has been done. You can see there's cables here, there and everywhere. Before I go in and tidy this thing up, I am going to go ahead and make sure that it actually works. So let's take this thing upstairs to my desk and see if this thing turns on. Okay, so it's been plugged in. This is the moment of truth. See whether or not it turns on. Maybe if I switch the power supply on at the back. Now on. Something. Oh. Okay, now I know it's on. Right, now's the moment of truth. Here we go. Ooh. Yes. we have liftoff. Now, let's get Windows installed and get this thing up and running. It is 100% working. We are live, about to install Windows. Thank God for that. Alrighty, that's pretty much it for this PC build. This is actually a couple of weeks after. I completely forgot to finish editing this video. Yeah, so this is a lot later on, but the computer is up and running. I do have to say, however, that I did actually swap out the Intel i3 9100F for a Intel i5 9600K, and that is purely because the i3 just couldn't seem to quite keep up and do exactly what I needed it to when in terms of recording and also playing a video game to a decent standard. So I traded it in essentially just a slightly better model. But that is it. The computer is running absolutely fine, as I'm sure you might be aware if you're a subscriber here on the channel. You can see the other videos and stuff like that. They were all going up very well. But yeah, this was just a little wrap up of the video. I really enjoyed building the computer, and yeah, we'll see if I make any other further changes to it. I might have to get another SSD, just purely because I'm already running low on storage space, editing videos, etc, etc. But we'll see. No current plans to change anything as of yet. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything like that about the PC build or about anything else I did in the video, please be sure to drop a comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, if not, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.